Welcome everybody to the very first episode of Keep Me Posted. My name is Franca Choice and with me is my darling Rose.
Hi, I am Reverend Thoko Owino Obare, commonly known as Reverend T. Welcome. Welcome to our channel. So on this platform, we're going to be talking about parenthood, the challenges that we face in parenthood, in modern day parenthood. So both Fran and I were kind of brought up in traditional ways. We grew up in Africa and we're raising children in this world. So we have just started this platform to kind of discuss parenthood from zero right up to where we are right now. Between us, we have 7 children.
7 children? 8. Eight. Well,
eight. So I have 3 children. I have a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Yes, there is a 10-year gap. Do not judge. There's a story behind that.
We are more like the same because with my last is 2, and then the one after that is 12. So there's a 10-year gap. So don't judge. And after that is my 16, and then my 17, and then my adopted daughter. She's 24.
Yeah. So today we decided to start from the very beginning because I thought when I became a parent, I thought this was part of nature. So parenting is just a natural thing. You get together with your husband, you do the nasty, you get pregnant, and then 9 months later, a bouncing baby comes up.
Everything falls into place, right?
Exactly. But I found out from the process that it wasn't as straightforward. And I remember thinking, there's quite a few things my mother didn't tell me about parenthood. So I will start from the very beginning. So we got married on the 5th of May, 2005.
Oh, yeah.
So this year we're celebrating 20 years in marriage. And I remember before getting married, I remember my mom, I was talking to my mom about contraception options. And part of the reason why I wanted to go on contraceptive was because my husband and I didn't actually date. My husband proposed to me on the first date.
Awesome.
And then I said yes, like I think about 2 months later. And when I said yes, he said, okay, we're getting married.
Let's get married.
Time.
Come on.
So we just went from 0 to 100. So I wanted for us to have a chance to get to know each other, a chance to court. So I was thinking, okay, I need to go on contraception. And my mom was dead set against it. She's like, why would you go on contraception? You don't know
you just got married.
You have children and, because how they were brought up, you got married and you had a baby. Which is fine, but, I was growing up in a different world. So I wanted to have some time.
As should be.
So I went on contraception for about 6 months.
Okay.
And then after 6 months, we decided, okay, let's try for a baby. And a baby didn't happen straight away.
Mommy told me.
And my mother's words haunted me. Like, they played in my mind. They were just, And now, because she had said those words, I couldn't speak with her about it. So it became like a proper battle, like a silent battle within myself. But I'll skip the details. That can be for another episode. So keep tuned in. So 3 years later, we then welcomed our daughter. So 3 years after.
So you waited 3 years.
Yes. So in that time, and a funny story, I'll share this one very quickly. So I then started going to get checked because I was starting to think maybe I couldn't have babies. And same thing, we were lined up for him to get checked. So the week he was due to go and get checked, I've been praying that God, but he's your servant, I'm married to a bishop, now. Like, God, this is your servant, why would such a thing happen? The why is you ask all these words. So that weekend, one of our church parishioners had their 40th birthday party.
Okay.
We'd gone there and we came back with food poisoning. And everyone else got better. But I was just getting worse and worse and worse. A week later, which is now when he's due to have his hospital appointment, I decided to just do a pregnancy check because I was thinking of going to the hospital, to the doctors. So I'm like, no, I've had DNV for a whole week. Let me go and speak with the doctor. So I did a pregnancy test, and it came out positive. But you know, when you've been waiting for such a long time, you don't believe it, right?
You do it again.
So I didn't do it again. I was like, it must be broken.
I don't believe I'm pregnant now.
I went to see the doctor.
Oh my
the doctor
God.
says, well, congratulations. And I was like, well, aren't you going to do a test? He's like, no, your tests are more accurate than the ones that we
Interesting.
He's like, we use cheap. So, congratulations. But I think for me, the thing was, my pregnancy was not easy. I was out of work for about 3 months because I struggled from terrible morning sickness. I had been told about morning sickness, but I think it's one of those things that unless if you've ever gone through it, you cannot even begin to appreciate it.
No.
I had to go into a hospital a few times to
admitted, you mean?
Admitted into
my
hospital
goodness,
because I would be so dehydrated. So to be put on the drip,
Ooh.
I was on 3 anti-sickness tablets in the first 12 weeks. And then went down to 2, but I had to take anti-sickness tablets like consistently. If I missed a dose, I would actually then fall sick. I was so sick that I couldn't keep water.
Oh, that's terrible.
I actually lost so much weight in my pregnancies. I wish I could have been able to keep it off. But I lost so much weight in my pregnancies. I think with my first one, I was admitted about 4 times. Right after the day I gave birth, they were still injecting me with anti-sickness. And I remember, so there was a taboo around...
a taboo
around taking anti-sickness tablets.
Oh, what's that?
Because back in the day, I think it was back in the 90s or something, this is not... scientific, go and Google it for yourself. But there was a time when there was this anti-sickness tablet that caused a lot of children to be born without limbs.
Okay.
So because of that,
so they
discouraged anti-sickness. But because of how many times I'd been in hospital and because of how sick I would get, I was being advised to stay on it. My community around me, so the aunties, the more mature aunties, like every time you told them you're on anti-sickness tablets, they would look at you judgingly. But I don't even know how I could have survived without the anti-sickness. What set me free was this woman called Karen, who said to me, I have children much older than you. And I took anti-sickness for all 3 of my children. And there was no way I would have made it without them.
So you were relaxed. Someone had done it before you. So yeah.
And yes, and then I started taking them in secret. So I stopped talking to people about being on anti-sickness tablets, which I think that's the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about, that there actually isn't any shame. And you do it to survive. I don't see how I could have survived. Like people tell you, oh, suck it up. Get over it.
You're not the first person, come on.
No one ever died from pregnancy. But I actually was really struggling.
Was your mom there at the time? Did you get to...
So my mom lived in the city.
Find any help whilst you were pregnant with your husband, or...
So my mom lived in the city.
Okay.
I think because my mom was a little bit old school around that. We didn't really talk much about the anti-sickness tablets, because she was also of a similar school of thought that you shouldn't be taking. And I get it. I mean, the data they had then was
convincing. So
I get the apprehension, but I could not have survived without anti-sickness. Right to the day I gave birth,
my God,
they injected me with anti-sickness because
I didn't know that was possible. If you didn't say it,
still vomiting on the day. So I'm in labor.
Gosh.
I'm vomiting from the pain I'm experiencing. I'm vomiting from I haven't taken my anti-sickness. So they had to come and inject me so that I could take something to eat to gain strength. So yeah.
So did this happen? Sorry to cut you short.
No, that's okay.
Did this happen to you? Because after all of the pregnancy symptoms, we go back again and get pregnant again.
So let me tell you, with my first one, labor was so good with my first one.
Okay.
I went into labor in the morning. and she was born at night. So I think I was in 16 hours worth of labor.
Oh.
And I was like, I remember actually saying it on the day that I can do this again. And of course, they tell you that, oh, pregnancies are different.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so was it the same or different?
First, it's very unlikely that you get it with the second.
Mm-hmm.
I had it with my second, and it was even worse with my third.
Hey! What? I was thinking you
with my second.
You had the same morning sicknesses and taking the answer sickness.
Terrible. The only thing I can say was slightly different was with my second at 20 weeks. I was able to drop down to 1 anti-sickness every other day.
You still took it,
but I still had to take it. And I remember with my second, we had an outbreak in England of swine flu. Was it swine flu or bird flu? One of the two. But we had an outbreak, and my I ended up catching it.
Oh, you did. Oh, sorry.
And when I caught it, I then got really poorly, had to be admitted into hospital. And
it didn't affect the baby, did it?
Thank God it didn't.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God it didn't affect the baby. So I'm going to go into a little bit of boring yourself. So it didn't affect the baby, but so I went into my cycle of morning sickness, had to be admitted in hospital. Then I got discharged. And then at about 20, so this was around about the time of the swine flu.
Yeah.
I think I was maybe about 24 weeks. My stomach starts tightening.
Ooh, contractions.
So that's what I thought.
Okay.
And I was admitted into hospital straight away because my GP checked me out and they could see it was tightening. It was actually visible. You could see it. Went into hospital. They kept me for a few days. And one of the consultants, after a couple of days of being in hospital, and I'm on the monitor. So when you're on the monitor thing, it's not showing as contractions. But when they're looking at my stomach physically, visibly,
it's contracting, tightening up.
Yeah, you can see it tightening up. So the consultant, a couple of days later, I've been in the hospital for about 2 days now. And then she says, I can see from your notes here that you had swine flu. And I say, yes. And she says, and when was the last time you opened your bowels? And I couldn't remember. Because I've been just in survival mode. I couldn't remember.
Oh my word!
So they gave me some laxatives and all.
Oh, that was what. So that was not contraction for the baby. Oh my word!
But then these are the sort of things we go through, right? And you don't even have anyone to talk to about it. So we're here to talk about this. So if you're going through anything remotely close to what we've been through, it happens not just to you. It happens.
It does. It does.
Lots of different people. It's just that we don't talk about it as much.
Yeah.
But okay, let's talk to you.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but before I do well to like this video, share to someone, subscribe already, because trust me, this is just the first of a lot of exciting episodes to come your way. All right, subscribe, and if you've done that, type done. All right, so we can send you a shout out. All right, so I got married on the 23rd of September 2007, and we turned 18 years a few a few months ago. Thank you. And for me, I come from a polygamous home, and my dad got married to 2 wives. My mom was the second wife, and it was crazy.
So, sorry, 2 wives at the same time?
No, the first wife, then after a while.
You all lived in the same home?
Yes.
So both wives lived in the same home? Wow.
Like you're watching the movies.
Okay.
Okay, but the what I remember most about this whole union was eventually my dad did not live with his wives.
So he marries 2 wives.
He marries 2 wives and he cannot sustain the marriage. You get what I mean? Wow. They both left him. The first wife left. She can't take it. And would you marry a second wife? Showed my mom hell. I was still young, but I can remember, sometimes I just remember those shouts, those arguments and everything and all that. So long story short, my mom, there was a fight, and then my mom took me. I was second to the last born at the time. Took me and my younger sister, ran to our uncle's place, and then what happened was, I don't want to go into details. What happened was my father came back and took us back, begged her to return. She said never, she's not returning, everything. She's not even coming back to that marriage. It's hell. I've given you 2 boys, 2 girls, take care of them. I was sad that we came back without my mom. So I was practically raised without a mom. Yeah, it was crazy. I was raised by my dad and my older step siblings. Yeah, that's it. So we were made to do house chores. You know,
That's an episode.
another episode.
Because I struggle with it, and I'm seeing how tight your ship is, and I know I can learn from you. So yes, that's one of the.
We'll talk about that later. So, well, growing up in a polygamous home, there were the good days, the bad days, happy days, sad days. But long story short was I just wanted to leave the house. The pressure was too much. I finished secondary school. I just got an admission to the university, and then I was managing my family salon. We had a big salon back then in the city. So I was going there as a young girl. I started business. I was the one managing the stylist. I also learned the skills and how to make hair and everything. I was.
You can make hair.
Oh yeah, nails. I started making my nails then 20 something years ago. Nails, hair, and all that. Fixing and all that. So I learned all that and through my teenage stage and getting into adulthood, and then I met my husband. I say, if it is you that will take me out of this house, I will marry you. So I married. As in anything that will get us to get married, we did it so that we could get married. Sorry for another day. And then I didn't have my mom to advise me on certain things. I didn't know what to do at the time. I was just, my husband said, you were too mature for your age. Because he didn't even believe I was at that age at the time, the decisions I was making and the things I was saying, like one graduate at the time. So he was happy to marry me. So we got married, yeah. And my first daughter came, Angel. And that was the first time I was actually meeting my mother. She came for the Omugo.
Really?
Yes. Wow. She didn't come for the wedding. My daddy said no. She left you guys when you were young.
Wow.
He told us crazy things about her, but that was not the truth because eventually the truth came out. So you are not going to your mother? I'm like, where did my mom?
You believe the truth you're told, right?
I didn't know what to believe because once in a while she comes and visits us in our school.
Oh.
So we'll see her then. Mommy, where did you leave? Are you coming back? I will be back, okay? Just take this pocket money. I love you guys, okay? She goes. She comes again once in a blue moon. Like once in a year or 2 years. No, if you dare tell my father, he will disown you. Did you see that your useless mother that left me? That's what he keeps saying. Your mother, she was useless. Because if she wasn't useless, she would have stayed. Although I married her a virgin. He always says that. Oh my God, there is no statement my father says without acknowledging the fact that you are a virgin.
But do you know, and I think this is what makes this podcast amazing, right? Mm-hmm. In that our childhood, you know, how we were parented, kind of can have an impact on how we are now parenting the next generation. So this is why we kind of got together to talk about, okay, what have you borrowed from that parenting? Because it shapes who you are as a person. Yes. And sometimes you have to actually take a conscious decision to say, I choose not to be like that.
This is how I want to raise my kids and everything.
I can imagine my children. All right.
Well, so my mom came for the Omugwo. That was like the first time.
What is an Omugwo?
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. I just thought everybody knew what that meant. Okay, so Omugwo is a traditional way of after a woman gives birth, the mother comes to take care of the woman and the baby for the time being till she's able to.
Okay, that's good.
So it was a good thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I had my mother-in-law and my mom come to take care of the baby. So that was a time she said. And funny thing is, she's a teacher back at where she lives, and so she couldn't stay more than 2 weeks. Usually, I thought mothers would stay with. Please, your mother, did she come for Mugo? Write it in the comment section. How many months did she do it? Mine did it for 2 weeks, so she had to go back because she's a teacher. She didn't want to lose her job.
So listening to what Brad is saying, right, I completely agree. Please share with us how long your mom would have stayed with you. Yeah. So I don't know whether they
do a Mugo on you.
So I don't know what it's called. I think there is something like that. I seem to remember it being discussed. So I moved to England when I was 17 years old, so I missed out on some of these cultural things. I think there is something similar, but I don't know what it's called. Okay. I'm going to call my mom after this to ask.
No, wait. So when you get birth, who came to take care of you?
No, so my mom did come.
Oh, that's it then.
But my mom worked.
Okay.
And she's a nurse, so I think she had a week off, if I remember correctly. And she actually came just a few days before the baby was born, and then she stayed with me a few days after. It was my husband who did the Omugo.
Big up to you, sir.
So
wow.
My husband is the one who actually took care of me during that time. I'm still keen to hear about yours, but I'll go into why, because I actually needed taking care of.
Okay.
Something happened whilst I was giving birth.
Oh.
So, but yes.
All right. So my mom came, and that was the time we kind of do catch up, mother to daughter conversation. I did. Anyways, I'd already forgiven any hurt that was, done, and I just had to forge ahead. And then she was now teaching how to take care of the kids. There's a way to bath the baby, to massage the body, how to do stuff to the baby. I just left the baby in her hands, and I was sleeping all through the process, because she will make you pepper soup. That's how our culture is. She will make you pepper soup, put all those spicy ingredients that will help your womb heal faster. You get what I'm saying? She will pound the yam, feed you well, take care of the baby. You will sleep well. So when the baby is crying, you're not even bothered, because your mother is there. It's a sweet period. Y'all relax. And the sweet thing was, after she left, my mother-in-law took over. So I had help, but not when I came to England. Hey, my God. Man, it was crazy.
I remember. I can imagine, and I know, because now I was part of your life.
Yeah.
I was just watching.
Red, you mentioned your husband was helping. My husband couldn't even handle the baby. He was scared those days. He can't even carry the baby. I said, no. The baby will break. He didn't do nothing. That's early period. So after my mother leaves, or my mother-in-law leaves, I am the one who caters, who takes care of the babies myself.
So with our first baby, I accidentally got injected into a nerve.
Oh my God.
So I lost sensation of my toes. I never knew your toes were important to your balancing and walking.
Wow.
So my balancing and my walking was a little bit off. Because it took some time for it to wear out of the system. And so I couldn't properly carry the baby because my balance was a little bit off. So my husband did all of that. He did all the baths, and and maybe another thing that I'll share as well, I struggled with my hormones.
Okay.
So after giving birth to my daughter, I struggled with hormonal imbalance. And I would cry.
Hey.
I would cry all the time.
Aww.
And initially I was thinking to myself, is this what they call postpartum depression? Or what am I going through? I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So thank God for this midwife. Here you had the midwife visit.
Yeah.
Because now I was too afraid to share with my mom. I was too afraid to share with my husband, because I thought I was failing as a mom. I've only been a mom for 3-4 days. Every time my baby would cry, I would start crying. Or if she cries and I'm trying to settle her, and she's not settling, I would start crying. I can't carry her, so I'm feeling like a failure, so I'll start crying. I can't do all these things, so I was feeling but it was all hormonal. So the midwife who came to see me, God bless her, 2 things she talked about.
Yeah.
Because, as Africans, they say, after you've given birth, you need to bath in salt. I do not like pain. It was bad enough that I went through pain in labor. Now to then put salt again. Some people, you have to sit on a mountain of salt. Yeah. So anyway, this midwife came to see me, and she says, look, scientifically, there is no evidence that salt helps you to heal faster. She said the amount of salt you will probably need to make a tiny ounce of difference, you wouldn't even be able to gather together. So I was like, check, no salt. Okay. I didn't tell my mom. Mom, now you know. And then the second thing was she asked me that, how are your hormones? Do you feel emotional? And then she said to me, it's normal. So if you find yourself in that situation, it's absolutely normal. Because I genuinely thought that I was, and then I say to her that I thought I was kind of struggling with postpartum postpartum depression or whatever it is, what it's called. And she said, no. If you were to struggle with that, that comes in a lot later.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be straight
immediately.
It wouldn't be immediately after giving birth. And that kind of,
relieved
me a little bit. But my husband, because he knew I wasn't able to carry the baby, I think the advantage I have is my husband is a firstborn, so he would have helped his mom with some of his siblings. So he taught me how to bath my daughter.
You see now, Mr. Choice. Although Mr. Choice actually learns later. He changed later on. But the first phase,
no, my husband was the one. He carried her. He changed her nappies. He bathed her. I only then stepped up once I was able to walk properly again, and he was back at work.
Oh wow! So you did the omugo,
That's the first time I'm hearing that word.
Yeah, that's the
word. Okay. What language is it from?
It's Igbo. It's the Igbo from the eastern part of Nigeria. That's what it's called. So even the Yoruba people and other tribes, they've also used the word. It's a known word. Even the Yoruba or any other tribe calls it omugo. So yeah, it's just a beautiful phase, and then you now have to face reality yourself. It's for me, like I said, when I came to England, I came in here pregnant, and I was the only one here first before my husband and kids came to join me, looking for a house first, then settling down, and then finding my school because I came here to do my master's and give birth. 2 projects that I hadn't done for over 10 years. I'd left university for a long time, over 10 years, and I'm coming to do masters to start to read again. That was a big project on its own. Then my daughter was 10 years old, and then to give birth 10 years later, you see the 2 projects, 10 years gap. It was enough stress on its own. But then I gave birth. No, Mugwa, where I stayed, I had to take care of the person and the person's daughter and my newborn baby and my first CS.
Yeah, I was about to say the CS. Because so I came to see her at the hospital.
Yeah,
the baby.
You brought me home.
Yes, and I picked you up and we brought you home. And to me, mad respect. I think let me take a moment to just pause and reflect. Mad respect to you for that season, because I know how tough that season was.
My God.
I mean, I wasn't there physically, but we were constantly on the phone, and we would see each other every now and again. And I can only imagine how tough that season was. And it also makes me think about single moms. That I think single moms, hats off to you and kudos to you. I don't know how you do it, and you possess a strength that is just next to none. Like, I cannot imagine. Because, at least for you, it was a temporary thing.
Yeah.
But for someone who's out there who's a single mom,
a lifelong experience.
This could be something that could be a lifelong experience, right? You're going through this all by yourself. So we have great respect for you. We're taking a moment to just stop and celebrate you and say, keep going. We're cheering you on. You've got some cheerleaders in the house. Keep going, and you're doing an amazing job. You're doing an absolutely amazing job. And we're here for you. Come and talk to us. Tell us, share your experiences. Tell us how you're getting on with it and how it's hard, but also the joys as well. Whilst yes, we talk about the difficulties. For me, motherhood is. I've achieved a lot in my life, but motherhood by far is the most amazing thing I have done. I absolutely love being a mother. I have loved watching my children grow. I have loved seeing them develop into the unique individuals that they've been. And I have loved threatening to take their lives as well. I remind them that I gave you life.
I can't take it.
Sometimes I do it for my entertainment. But I find it such an amazing experience. So for me, pregnancy number 2 was completely different, right? So I was morning sickness till week 20. Then I had swine flu and struggled with that. And I also struggled with number 1 and number 2. I struggled with anemia and pregnancy for a while. As a result, I don't like needles because I had to have blood tests regularly, and I don't have the easiest of veins, so they would
freaking you everywhere.
At me. But I always joke and I say, if it wasn't for that experience, maybe I would have had more children.
How many kids did you, your intention for having kids? How many?
When we first got together with my husband, I wanted 14. That is
what?
4. Yes, I wanted 14.
You gotta be
kidding me. Those parents you see on TV where they say 18 and counting.
Yeah.
I would have been in that club. That's the club I wanted to be in.
Thank God for Bishop.
But Bishop wanted 4.
Okay. Oh, so we have one more to go now.
No. He wanted 4. After number 2, I said, I'm done. I am not doing this again. So with number 2, I was in labor for 3 days. 3 days. I was, it started on a Saturday morning. We were actually here at church having a team meeting. And I went on right up to the night, but it was still the early stages. And my husband said, I have no child that is born on a Sunday because I need to preach in church. And the church was still quite small then, so we didn't even have someone to cover us.
Okay. If you're away.
So the other praise and worship leader, who is Lorraine, who comes to church. Yeah. Shout out to you, Lorraine. She was also pregnant at the time. And she was going through her challenges. So she did come to church that Sunday. And guess what? I led praise and worship. I led praise and worship that Sunday because it was just the 2 of us who would do praise and worship. So I led praise and worship. I went and I sat down, and God was gracious. From the time I went to bed until that moment, the pains were not too intense. It was maybe 1 every hour or something like that. As soon as I sat down, I was in church listening to my husband speak, and I was going like,
come on now.
My daughter was not born until Monday. It's 6 p.m. Yes, she took her time. So after 3 days of labor, and I mean a hard labor,
tell me about it.
I was like, I'm done. I am done.
No more kids.
I'm not doing this again.
14, no more 14 children.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But I do love them at that baby stage. If someone could carry them for me and then just give me when they're babies.
You get it. And then surrogacy, now you could do it for the first. We'll give you posted on what are decisions. For the fun, baby, because come on. If she wanted 14, Bishop wanted 4. So just let us meet each other halfway. Do you not think?
3 was a good compromise.
Was it? Okay, so for me, the England baby and everything, I was depressed, I'll tell you. Postpartum depression. I was alone first. The kids and I prayed, in fact, the power of words. We were praying that I find a house before I birth the baby. So we prayed, we declared, we decreed, we held hands. As mommy is traveling to England first, let this baby not come out in the bus, in the plane, when she's finding her school and everything. Let her be settled before this baby comes out. That was what we prayed. So every time we call ourselves on the phone and we pray. So I went on with my day, schooling and all that, and the baby wasn't coming. And when you talked about the prolonged labors, I remembered mine as well with Tobichuku Ziva. 3 days too. I thought because I'm in England, they will make it easier for me. They tried to induce labor. Labor did not come. I was there for 3 days, painful labor. Then they resorted to CS. You know where I'm from? They will tell you CS. Oh, we even prayed against CS. We never give birth through CS. Oh, Father is going to be like the Hebrew women. Oh, Lord, so that mindset, I say, hey, I've given birth first 3 babies, no more delivery. This one, I don't want CS. Lord, help me. Then after all the labor, I still went through emergency CS. I would have just gone through CS eventually, but before, So when I birthed the baby through emergency CS, my first CS, I didn't even know what to do with my life. I came back home, I think 2 days afterwards, I was back home. I was staying with a friend, and I didn't know that friend had issues. She was depressed, and she had a toddler. So I took care of the depressed friend, took care of the toddler, took care of my new CS mother after birth self, and a newborn baby. I was crying every day on the phone. Come, you guys should come. I've not found the house yet. I don't know what to do with myself. This one is crying. That one is crying. This other one is crying. I don't know. Oh, help me. But I have the videos, but eventually I went through that phase alone. So there was no book work for me. There was no, I did it all by myself. I never knew how strong I was until that phase passed. And then my kids and family came back 3 months afterwards. I survived it.
And now it's a story, right?
So
and I suppose sometimes, some of these experiences we go through, when you're going through it, it's not easy. Because I remember some of the phone calls we have, I remember some of the conversations we'd have, and I'm sure you were not even showing me the full picture of what you were going through. And I think to a certain degree, this is something that we need to work on as people, because I think we're taught to toughen up, right? We're taught
to conceal certain things.
If you conceal from me, I cannot be there for you. But if you say, I need help, please help me, then I'm able to make the decision that can I help you or not.
True.
But when you don't tell me, you're not even giving me that option to whether to be there for you or not.
Yeah.
But I remember we'd still talk, and I think we talked about C-section as well.
Yeah.
That's cesarean section. And part of the reason why I would have talked with Fran about it then is because, so I've had the great pleasure of pastoring Nigerians for years. And I know that it's a Nigerian people thing, or it's certain countries I don't know. No. So in Zimbabwe we have no problem.
Then it's a Nigerian thing then.
But I found that with Nigerians there is a great fear. Cesarean sections. I remember someone who actually was pregnant for a little bit longer than they should have because they refused to go for a cesarean section, and yet it was required for their health and for the baby's health. Like people actually think that you're marked for death if you're going for.
I'm telling you.
So, demystify it. She went through a cesarean section. She lived through it, and she is here to tell the tale. Because I think some people are suffering.
Yes.
So I'm not here to say that should be the option, because there's also some people who are too posh to push. They're just saying they just want. No. I'm not here to publicize one over the other. But I'm here to say when there's life at stake, do what you need to do. Thank God. And I know that some people say, "Oh, we're Christians and we believe." That same God that you believe in is the one that created the surgeons that are going to operate. Is the one that will be in the room as you're going through that cesarean section. And he's the one that will see you through.
True.
If you allow fear to rule over, then you're saying that God is not able to see you through that journey.
So let's clear your mindset. Normal delivery is actually not just you pushing through your vagina canal. Normal delivery is baby and mother safe. So CS or pushing are both normal delivery. Do what is safe for your baby. Right, we have a lot to talk about. We should do an episode 2 of this. So I want you, we're going to continue this episode, but you need to come back and watch that. But I hope you've got value so far. We have a lot more to talk about. We want to talk about the lessons we learned from our mothers, our parents, and how it has impacted our lives.
We didn't learn.
And the lessons we didn't learn.
They forgot to tell us, or the things they neglected to tell us. But yeah, we want to talk about it all. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you've kind of gotten something out of it. And this is what it's going to be like. It'll be Fran and myself, and we might even have a guest. You could be one of our guests at some point to talk about their journey and their experiences. And we're talking about parenthood as a whole. So yes, we're talking from a mother's point of view. It'll be good to get our dads at some point.
Yes, single ladies, single mothers rather.
So I have a friend who comes to church. And his theory with as a parent, so he says the wife carried the baby for 9 months, and once the baby is out, it's now his job to look after the baby.
Clock hits! Clock! We should get him on the show.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm talking about. So his wife did not get up for feeds in the night.
Oh God. And, bless him.
Bishop.
But you said Bishop did not come on now. I should call Mr. John.
No, but to be fair.
Yeah.
So when we had our third baby, I never got up in the night. He did all of it. To the point where if I hit so much as he exactly, I would kick him, wake up for him, and say, my friend, it's your turn. Girl. When he was still breastfeeding, he would take Zachary, come and put him.
Oh, wow!
Because I was getting up for nothing. But yeah, I suppose, this is another one for another day. So motherhood in older age. So I had Zachary when I was 38 years old. And yeah, that came with its own interesting challenges. But, that's something that we can talk about
on another episode.
Yeah.
So well, to like, subscribe if you haven't, because you might miss these faces. You want to miss these beautiful faces? Subscribe and share this with someone who needs to listen, and share with us your experiences. Let's hear you, because we might get to pick you from the audience to be our guest if you want to be our guest, right? So see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Take
care, and until next time,
bye.
Keep us posted.
Keep us posted.